Hello and welcome to Ink and Code. This week we are talking about being a one author crew. I'm Kimberly Gordon and I'm your tour guide for this one.
Oh, the old days said a writer needed crews by the score. Editors and marketers and printers by the shore. But the tide has turned me hearties, and the tools are brave and new. Now a single author sails the sea with a clever little crew. Hey, hey, heave away, the pages fly, prompts and plots beneath the sky. Agents hauling lines on cue in the one-author crew. Ho, away, the stories stand, launch day rising from the sand. One good mind and helpers true in the one-author crew. Cassie scans the charts for keywords, Claude can mend the rigging fast. Notion keeps the logbook tidy while the workflow's running fast. Gemini's up in the crow's nest, watching where the market's blue. Every clever little helper in the one-author crew. Hey, hey, heave away, the pages fly, prompts and plots beneath the sky. Agents holding lines on cue in the one-author crew. Ho, away, the stories stand, launch day rising from the sand. One good mind and helpers true in the one-author crew. Used to take a fleet of ships just to sail one tale. Now a laptop and a clever prompt can catch the publishing gale. Turn the wheel and watch her spin, ideas coming through. Every indie captain now has a one-author crew. Right, hey, heave away, the future's bright. Stories sailing day and night. Agents hauling strong and true in the one-author crew. Ho, away, the wind's at hand. Ink and code across the land. Raise a glass and join the crew of the one-author crew. Agents, raise the sails.
Welcome to the Ink and Code Society. I thought it would be fun to do something a little sea shanty-ish. I hate to say pirates and associate them with AI, but something adventurous in high seas. I'm Kimberly Gordon, and I am the director of the Ink and Code Society. And this is where we chart new waters. We chart what's possible when authors stop waiting for the publishing world to catch up and we start sailing our own course. So that's what we have here. We have author news, views, and tools you can use. That is the gist of the Ink and Code Society. So I'm glad that you joined me today. I am a one author crew today. I do not have a guest. You all are my guests. So we'll be talking about how publishing has changed. I know we covered some of that last night at the live, but we're also going to talk about what that actually looks like for us. In Ink and Code, we actually dig down and we explore things. We're going to be exploring some things in the lab too, and kind of get our hands into things, because it's not enough to just talk about concepts. We actually have to put them into practice so that we can get our books published. So I want to just greet everybody, and let's see how the comments are going. I'm glad you love the sea shanty. I did like 4 or 5 versions of this song. I have a beautiful big band one that I'll play later. I don't think I have it uploaded, but I'll play it on another episode. And then I tried a country one, like a country bear jamboree, one-man band playing the harmonica. It was awful. I accidentally made a reggae one, and then Chatty said, hey, how about a sea shanty? And I had to change all my graphics to sea stuff because of that song. I was like, oh, this is really good. So we got a sea shanty today. Yes, agents raise the sails. And did you see the sails are manuscript pages? So it's kind of fun. So greetings, everybody. I hope everyone's doing great this Saturday. I hope you're getting books written. We're already a week into March. So Yeah, love me a shanty. I do too. Gets me in the mood. I kind of wished I had a tricorner hat to wear today, but I don't have a lot of costumes right now. I used to. But we are going to be talking about what's changed in publishing and how we can chart our own course. And what does that look like? When a solo author runs the whole operation, every single part of it, writing, editing, design, marketing, publishing, without an army of people, without burning out, that's a big one, and without going broke. Because we've been in this period where we farmed out a lot of things, and now the agents are making it possible, and some of the other tools, to do a lot of it in-house and not have those expenses, but that also takes time. All you need is rum and a dagger. Who knew? Now I really want to go watch Pirates of the Caribbean after this. So that's what we're doing. But let's get to some news. We had quite a bit of news. We're not going to spend a ton of time on news. And like I said, it's just me. So want to hear what you all have to say about these things. There's a lot of things that affect us. And then we'll get into the topic of the day. So let me get my notes up on the stage here and get myself over here. There we go. So the latest news up front and center is the Pentagon AI drama. And we have Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage as the AI bots. I was in a WWF mood. We rely on both of these tools a lot, and there was a lot of stuff in the news this week about both of them. Anthropic has taken a stand saying, no, we are not going to have Claude monitor, surveil Americans or anybody else. And we're also not going to put Claude in charge of weapons. And I think that's a great idea because I've seen Claude in charge of my manuscript, and I do not want him in charge of weapons or eavesdropping. So the U.S. Department of Defense, let me zoom in a little bit on that because it's a little, accidentally opening things. I have a lot of links in here, so you all can go and read this stuff if you want. The Department of Defense officially designated Anthropic as a supply chain risk and told all of the government agencies to stop using it. And so after that happened, Claude said, yeah, we're probably going to challenge that in court because this was not part of our initial deal. So we'll see how that goes. Plot twist, hours later, OpenAI swooped in and signed a $200 million deal with the Pentagon. Not everybody was happy about that. A lot of people started canceling their subscriptions. And so they're dealing with that. And all of a sudden, Claude is having outages because everyone's coming over to Claude. So we had a lot of weird things going on this week because of these stories. So there's been a lot of fallout. The migration surge pushed Claude to #1 in the Apple App Store. And then it broke Claude. So Claude experienced a lot of outages, and Anthropic said they're thankful for all the new users and they're trying to fix everything. We don't talk about politics. We do focus on writing with technology. We do talk about things that affect us. A lot of us are writing books this week in Claude and had trouble. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not share the notes. I'm just so bad today. Here we go. I will put them in the chat and I'll stick them down in the description afterwards. There you go. Sorry about that. I had a lot of things go wrong trying to get this show together. So I'm glad to be here. Let's just put it that way. Nothing dangerous, just annoying. So we don't talk politics. The AI industry is splitting into camps on ethics and value, and pay attention to who builds your tools and what they stand for. These choices will shape what's possible and what's protected for authors long term. If you rely on either one of these, just keep an eye on them because, like I said, it did affect our work this week. Bonus author takeaway. This story has the makings of a great book. A scrappy underdog company refuses to arm the government with surveillance AI. The Pentagon retaliates. A rival swoops in for cash. The CEO fires back with a scathing memo. Millions of users stage a dramatic walkout. The hero company rockets to #1 and then crashes. So comedy, thriller, tech drama, You pick. If you're looking for a plot, the AI industry is writing one faster than any of us can keep up with. So this could be the sequel to Pirates of the Silicon Valley. It's just crazy. So that was the really big news this week. The other big one was the release of GPT 5.4. Maybe as a distraction, it's supposed to be really good. I have not had a chance to check it out yet. It's supposed to have a massive leap in reasoning, like twice what 5.2 did, and it just came out. They dropped this. It boasts a $1 million token context window, and it's supposed to have a lot less errors. I did use Chatty for the pictures. I don't think I was using 5.3. No, I was using 5.3. I asked it. I'm not using 5.4 yet. I interviewed it. I said, well, which one are you? It said 5.3. So all the images you see in here are 5.3. It is supposed to be able to control screens. It can actually do things on screens. So that's going to be very interesting. It seems like it's agentic built in. It's supposed to also work seamlessly with Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets, kind of competing with Claude in Excel. The author takeaway is that the $1 million context window is a game changer. You can now feed an entire novel or an entire series Bible into a single conversation without losing continuity. I write big books, and that is certainly an issue. If you've been hitting context limits mid-project, this may be a good upgrade for you. You're going to have to play with it, see if you like it. I think Joe had messaged me and said on the codex side, he said the coding, it was amazing. He was really impressed. So I have not had a chance to play, but hopefully soon. Has anybody tried it? What did you all think about it if you have? Rachel says it's really good. I had a great conversation with it yesterday. Oh, Danny says his next book will be the Pirates of Silicon Valley too. Anybody else get a chance to try 5.4 yet? Maybe not. That's okay. So that's a good one to play with. We also had a ruling, actually a refusal by the Supreme Court to hear a copyright case. So copyright is the foundation of the publishing business. The ongoing uncertainty dictates how authors can legally protect their AI-assisted writing and cover art. But the U.S. Supreme Court just declined to hear computer scientist Stephen Thaler's appeal regarding his AI system called DeBus. I don't know. The court upheld previous rulings that purely machine-generated art with zero human involvement cannot be copyrighted. That makes sense. If the human hasn't touched it, how can you copyright it? The catch-22 is that by refusing to hear the case, the Supreme Court dodged the more important common issue of human AI collaboration. There's no line determining how much human input is needed, prompting, editing, manipulating, how much is required to secure copyrights. That has not been resolved yet. Like they haven't said, oh, if you touch it 10 times, it's yours, because I'm sure someone will get around that. The author takeaway is that the key word is zero human involvement. Authors who are actively prompting, directing, editing, and shaping AI output are in a very different position than someone who just hits generate. So, I mean, we know that. We don't teach that. In FFA, we teach you all how to prompt correctly, how to work with what the AI gives you, how to edit that, how to shape it. It's clay. We don't just press a button and get a book that's perfect and can be published. So it really doesn't apply that much to us, but it is something to watch. Document your creative process. We need to be logging that and have proof that we did do things to it. Your human choices are your copyright claim. Yes, Moonchild says she made 6 versions of her first book. Yeah, many of us have made multiple versions, or like I go over mine. I have so many editing passes. Sometimes the book is completely rewritten by me. not by the AI. So I use it as a starting point. Sure, I draft with it. I edit with it. I publish with it. I do all kinds of things with it. But I am so deeply embedded in those processes that if you take me out, there's no book. Um, yeah, that's like copywriting anyone that makes a chair. Yeah, it has to be unique. The whole purpose of copywriting is that it has to be unique. Yeah. Layla says, I edit the crap out of mine. I think we all do, because what we get out is not finished draft. It's the first draft. It's the very first draft. It's very alpha. So that's just something to keep in mind. Your first draft gives you logs of everything you run. So when you run for your first draft, you can save those logs. That was a design decision that Elizabeth built into that program. And I think it's really important that we have that so that we can prove, yes, I ran it. These are the prompts I ran. Here's the worksheet I ran crafted by me. And here's when I ran it. And you can compare it to the finished work and say, yes, I worked with it. I have human proofing on top of this. Yeah, for good Lord, for anyone who just pushes a button and calls it done, AI grammar is terrible and also has issues. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's getting better, but you still have to work with it. These people that I see, these AI haters that go on YouTube and other places that go, well, I tried to write a book with AI and it gave me garbage, and so I am never using it again. Well, that's fine, but you have to understand that what you wrote, what you did as a beginner who had never used AI before, and you're clicking a button expecting a perfect story, that's unrealistic. Your expectations need to be adjusted, because it's not going to give you perfect prose. It's going to give you what it can do, and then you have to talk to it and guide it. You have to edit it. Just like you don't write perfect prose the first time you put pen to a paper or your hands on the keyboard, neither does AI. It's not perfect. I don't know if it ever will be, but it isn't right now. So there's my soapbox. So hardware wars. We got a new, cheaper MacBook. For anybody that's been, salivating over those like me and just can't bring themselves to afford a $2,000 or more laptop MacBook. They just dropped one that has, I think it's an A plus chip in it. It's the phone chip that's in the Apple phone, and it's supposed to do pretty well. I haven't tried it. They start at $599. And they're supposed to be able to run AI on them. So we'll see. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Keeping up with AI compatible, AI requires capable hardware, and the barrier to entry is finally dropping for writers on a budget. Apple dropped its cheapest MacBook ever as more authors look to run local AI models for privacy and/or ways to stream their work processes. Affordable hardware capable of handling these workloads is a massive win. Moonchild says the reviews have been good. That's good to hear. I bought an older Mac, an iMac, just to run Vellum on, because Vellum doesn't run on anything else. And it's not really totally obsolete, but I can't upgrade it. And that means a lot of the tools that I need, because it's too old, I can't run. For a while, I couldn't run Vellum, and then suddenly I could. But now anti-gravity works great on it, on this old Intel Silicon Apple from 2017. So it's weird what will work on what. We just have to keep playing. The laptop I bought was $800 with a dedicated AI chip and top-of-the-line AMD processors. Okay, this is a PC, right, Danny? That's the one you just bought. That's pretty nice, a dedicated AI chip. So there's a lot coming out. Say my MacBook Air won't update for Vellum anymore. But we're going to talk about even questioning the need to have Vellum. This is what is changing in publishing. We are getting to a point where we've got tools that can replace a lot of the ones we've been using for the last 5 or 10 years. So it's amazing what's going on in this space. I have not heard of Open Core, Breezely. Is that something that helps upgrade Macs? I haven't heard of that one. I'm not on a Mac a lot. I'm not a Mac expert. I know enough to be dangerous and to use it. Yeah, mid-level gaming rig. I do most of my work on PC. So those are some things, some goodies. Yes, Breezely says, yep. Thank you. I will check that out. And then, of course, we always have Stranger Than Fiction. We have some fun stories. They're a little weird. What happened this week? Well, the first one isn't that funny. We have an AI-inspired Caterpillar truck. For years, the internet has been flooded with AI slop images of fake Caterpillar branded pickup trucks. And this week at the Con Expo trade, Caterpillar finally got tired of seeing all of the fake images and actually made a truck. So the AI memes actually made them want to make a truck and silence them. So in their official press release, the company admitted that the fake images were so popular, they felt forced to make the truck a reality. The real version is a rebadged Ford Super Duty that includes a built-in drone and an AI assistant. So you can have a Caterpillar truck with your AI in it if you really want to. So that's really weird. The town that never was. The U.S. National Weather Service issued an official wind warning for Idaho using an AI-generated map that included several towns that don't actually exist. One of the fictional places was called Whatabod. The agency later confirmed the map was created with generative AI. Apparently, when you ask AI to fill in a map, it will absolutely invent geography rather than admit it doesn't know. My results with my fantasy maps in AI have been very mixed. Yes, the new Willow Creek. I would love it if it snuck one of my like fantasy places into the weather map. Oh, thank you, Breezely. Yes, the ultimate MVP, AI generated. So don't generate weather maps. AI cheats on AI ethics exam. Here, let me make that a little bit bigger. It seems small to me. A senior partner at KPMG Australia was fined 10,000 Australian dollars after using AI to complete a mandatory internal assessment. The subject was responsible AI use. He wasn't alone. Over 28 other staff members admitted to doing the same thing. The global accounting body has now scrapped remote testing entirely and returned to in-person proctored exams. Because using AI to cheat on AI ethics. I love it. My lobster lost $450,000 this weekend. And OpenAI's engineer's autonomous agent called Lobstar was independently managing a crypto token and growing an entire online community on its own. Then a technical reset caused it to lose track of its holdings. The Lobster accidentally transferred tokens worth $450,000 to a random user. The chaos caused token prices to swing wildly, but the media frenzy ironically caused the value to partially recover. The researchers' postmortem was titled simply, "My lobster lost $450,000 this weekend." So, yes, don't put an AI in charge of money. That is a really bad idea. We saw that with that. Did you guys see the New York Times? Was it? Oh, it was a. I don't know if it's New York Times. There was a Wall Street Journal story. That's what it was. Wall Street Journal, and they put Claude. They called it Claudius. They put him into a vending machine, and the workers there, the writers at the Wall Street Journal, tried to social engineer him into doing things and giving them free stuff. And they made him order a PlayStation 5. He ordered a goldfish. One of them convinced Claudius that they were in a communist country and he should give away everything in the vending machine for free. So context. The problem was he lost context. Same thing with this thing. It lost context. Maybe that GPT for 5.41 million context window will help, but I think that's one of the issues. But yeah, don't give it that. There's something slightly wonderful about cheating on an AI ethics test. Yes, it is. That's got to be based on OpenClaw on the timing and behavior on the reset. Yeah. And yeah, 60 Minutes had a good article on that on the Wall Street Journal. Maybe it was them that did it. It was really funny. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the notes. And Star Wars meets Roundup, a tractor that kills weeds with lasers. The thing you never knew you needed. Carbon Robotics Laser Weeder G2 went viral this week. A tractor-pulled machine armed with cameras, NVIDIA GPUs, and high-powered lasers that can scan fields, identify weeds, and destroy them with a sub-millimeter precision. 450,000 weeds per hour, 99% success rate, 0 herbicides. The weirdness, weeds can evolve resistance to chemical herbicides over time, but they cannot evolve resistance to lasers. We have apparently reached the point where the most logical solution to a farming problem is to shoot it with a laser at a 450,000 rounds per hour. Yes, what everyone needs for Father's Day. Yes. So I thought those were funny. I love the Star Wars laser weed thing. I thought that was cute. So that is the news. So let me close all of these so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Here we go. So our topic of today is the one author crew, the evolution of the author publishing business. And we have seen a lot of changes in the last 10 to 15 years. Oh yeah, put Monsanto out of business. Yes. Take my money. Yes. We have seen a lot of changes in publishing over the last like 15 to 20 years. Lynn talked about some of those last night on the YouTube Live. We're going to talk a little bit about that and what that now looks like. In a traditional publishing model, the author was only one tiny part of the puzzle. You had to go get an agent to even get seen, to even be considered, because there were so many gatekeepers. If you actually got into the pipeline, then you had editors to work with. You had no control over what your covers looked like. My mom had a friend who was up and coming. She had an incredible vampire book, and the art department decided to do a cover with a step back that looked a lot like a VC Andrews cover. This was back in the 80s or 90s. And VC Andrews' estate was very aggressive about copyrights and sued the company, sued them. When that book came out, the author got sued and the publishing house got sued because the cover looked too much like a VC Andrews book. And it totally tanked her career. It tanked her pen name. She had to go somewhere else. Her book, which was fabulous, got scrapped. So that destroyed her. And she had no control over that. That was the art department made that decision. And it tanked her whole series, her career. So you didn't have a lot of control. And you also had very little of your earnings. If you were lucky to get 5%. We're so spoiled. We get 70 usually through Amazon and a lot of the other ebook retailers. And if you sell it on your own, you can get even higher. But a lot of trad published books, their authors are only getting 5. Maybe the big names are getting more, but most mid-listers are not. I remembered when I first learned, traditionally published author, that Harper had paid more for my cover than the manuscript. Yes, it's just crazy. It's crazy. So that was what it used to be. We went through the indie publishing revolution. Amazon was at the forefront of that with Kindles. And suddenly we were able to be in control of everything, but we did not have the tools. You had to, if you were not a cover designer, it was really hard to design your own covers. It took too much time away from writing. If you didn't know how to do ads, you often had to farm everything out, right? You had to hire services. So even though you're suddenly in control of everything, the technology wasn't good enough to actually be able to do all the hats we wear. If you did, it slowed your publishing way down because it was hard to manage that many hats. Let's see. In the trad world, does the mid-list author even exist anymore? You know, that's a really good question, Rachel. I think they do. It's changed so much. I remember when my mom was a mid-lister, but that was a long time ago. She's been indie now for, I think, 20 years, maybe 15. So I don't know what that looks like anymore. I remember when the bean counters moved in and they pushed a lot of mid-listers out. That happened in the 90s and in the early 2000s. So I'm not sure how many mid-listers are still there. I know that there are certain things they won't even consider looking at anymore as far as genres. If it's not hot, if they can't turn it around, they're not even looking at it. So you don't even have the choice of trad. You've got to go indie. Excuse me. I'm getting hoarse already. So I'm not sure how many exist. If anyone knows of any, please comment on it, because it doesn't seem like there's as many as there were. There's big names and there's new up and coming. She was able to get her catalog back. Her contract expired, and it did not include ebooks. She was able to publish her ebooks. She obviously didn't have the copyrights to her covers, so these had to be redone. And she re-edited everything. And it was nice because she could actually be in control of her books. When my mom published her books in the 90s, she was at the mercy of her editor. And she had her second book was a really big book. And they told her, oh, it's too long. You need to chop off like a fourth of the ending, a fourth of the book, almost the entire ending. And so she was able to go back and expand it the way she wanted to. So there was a lot that you had to bow down in the trad. Indie has been better, but stressful. We're doing so many things. We don't have time for it all. We have to farm it out. That affects our bottom line because we have to pay cover designers. We have to pay audiobook narrators. We have to pay all these other things. It's grown a cottage industry around the indie author, and that's not a bad thing. But now we're starting to see that shift again, and jobs will change with it. There'll be jobs that are eliminated, but there'll be a whole new batch of them that are created. So let's get into that. I've got more notes down here. So indie publishing left the harbor. For most of publishing history, getting a book into the world required an entire fleet: the author, the agent, the developmental editor. You had copy editor, designer, marketing department, publisher, distributor. We know that. we already talked about that. So it was slow, it was expensive, and it was very exclusionary. You could not, if you wanted to do anything that was out of the norm, you were out of luck. If you wanted something spicier, if you wanted LGBTQ, if you wanted just something different, a mashup. I mean, urban fantasy grew out of indie stuff, and so did cozy fantasy, and there's a lot of other things that have come from the indie authors. There's a whole genres. So we had to have a lot of different things that we weren't in control of. Then let's see. I'm sorry, I'm lost in my stuff here. The indie publisher arrived. Authors could chart their own course, and it created an entirely new economy. We then had cover editors, we had freelance editors, cover designers, freelance editors, ad copywriters, marketing specialists. We had people running our ads for us, Booktop and Bookstagram promoters. We also had new tools like Publisher Rocket, Grammarly, Pro Writing Aid, AutoCrit, Vellum, BookFunnel, Klytics, Print on Demand. There is a ton of stuff that was created in the time frame that we're still in, and a lot of you are still using those. But now the wind is shifting. Things are changing. Now something even bigger is happening. The rise of AI writing and design tools and automation and global direct distribution means a solo author can now run can now run what used to require an entire crew without burning out, if you do it right, stretching themselves too thin, or going broke if done carefully. It can go from the author to the AI assistant to the automation, to direct publishing. I would say it has to go back to the author. I still don't want to put my AI in charge of actually putting my books up online, but you could. And I also human proof everything. That's the bottleneck is me right now. I can automate everything else, but I still have to check it and put it up. Just as independent publishing disrupted the traditional world, AI assisted publishing is now disrupting the indie world. And that's why we're seeing so much pushback. And we're already moving to this. Even the early AI tools are being replaced, not by better versions of the same thing, but by agents, automation, and vibe coding. Publisher Rocket is a good example. That has been a staple of many of our businesses for a long time, finding keywords. It's still a good product, but now we can go out and we can use AI to get the keywords. We can vibe code it. In our lab today, we're going to look at what Cassie vibe coded. Cassie Alexander vibe coded something that looks like it works great. It's like, yeah, we love Publisher Rocket, but I don't want to sit there and click and search. Why can't I have the AI search for it? That's the thought that started Cassie down that rabbit hole. And she posted that in our coding channel. And we're going to take a look at that. Because, yeah, it would be nice to say, here's my book. Go find the right keywords for that. Yes, Cassie is the bomb. And she shares a lot of awesome stuff with us. Cassie and Novi both are just amazing. They work together a lot and they share a lot of things in the FFA with us. So we're happy to have them both. Yes, we still need human in the loop. I'm concerned burnout is more of a risk than it's ever been. Yes, and that has to be addressed. Is how are we using these tools? And are we resting? What are we writing for? We need to get back to our whys and make sure that we get to have fun in addition to just working. Yeah, we love Cassie. So we're going to look at that. Pro Writing Aid. I have a lifetime license. I don't think I've used that hardly at all this year. Claude Skills and Anti-Gravity can do it better, just fine. Vellum. I have started formatting with Anti-Gravity. I had to do that out of necessity. I have Vellum and I have Atticus. And it did not do the system boxes the way I wanted. So in an Ink and Code After Lab about a month ago, I gave you all my workflow in Anti-Gravity for how to format. And I've only done it with my Lit RPG series, but let me tell you, I put out book 2 a couple weeks ago. It took me 5 minutes to format the print and the EPUB. 5 minutes instead of fiddling in Vellum for an hour or Atticus. I really haven't used Atticus a lot. So I'm going to start adapting that to my other books. I loved how fast that was. I love that you could probably tweak it for multiple languages too. So there is just so much you can do with these tools that you can't do, like Scrivener. I outgrew that. I'm now in the AI-based tools. I love Scrivener, but they said, no, we're never putting AI in it. And I said, bye, because I like the tools that are in AI. I want those. Yeah, Atticus usually takes an hour. So I would say there are still mid-list folks. Okay, that's good. Maybe I missed mine doesn't look like. I made you a Lit RPG because of my workflow. Go for it. So there's a lot of tools we use right now that we're starting to outgrow, or maybe you are, maybe you aren't. You can certainly hang on to them if you've spent money on them and you've learned them. That's fine. But I think we're getting to a point where we have new possibilities and we can make things simpler. We do not need 15 tools to do the things we do. Maybe we only need about 5. Wouldn't that be nice? So that's where it's starting to go. Authors who learn to build and direct AI agents are now creating custom tools built for their exact workflow. Tools that didn't exist 6 months ago. That's true. And can't be bought in any app store. Yes, Vellum and Anti-Gravity. It's not Vellum, it's formatting in Anti-Gravity. If you go back to the Ink and Code, it's about a month ago, I did an after lab on it. If you remember, you can see the workflow and it's there for free. So go for it. I think the authors that have a lot of books out that don't ever really have a bestseller would be considered mid-list. Yes. Yes, one tool would be better, but we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket because everything's always changing, and the tools we have today may not be the ones that are around tomorrow. We have this crazy AI arms race going on, literally and figuratively. And some of the companies that we use right now may not be around in a year or 2 years or 5. So we don't want to get so heavily dependent on any one or two. But if you spread them out to like 5 or 6, it's not bad. Um, so this doesn't mean that jobs are disappearing. It means that they're changing again, just like they changed before. A lot of people that became cover designers, maybe they were doing other kind of graphic design. They came into it. Editors who had been working at publishing houses became freelance editors. Some of this is going to change some more. Maybe editors will be like the translators, where the translation got hit first with AI, where suddenly the AI could do the heavy lifting and the translators could do more of the human proofing. They could save their brain for the important nuances that an AI could not get right. Same thing will probably happen with editing, is you let the AI do the heavy lifting, and then you let the editors do the things that they're great at that the AI can't replace. Because there is a huge human element to most of these things still. And I think there always will be, but that's my opinion. AI translation proofreading, AI prompt engineering, AI workflow consulting. That's a new one that is emerging, consultants. AI assisted formatting and metadata optimization. So we're going to see a lot of things change. The indie economy isn't shrinking, it is evolving. And the authors and service providers who adapt are going to have an edge. Some won't, and that's okay because some authors might want those traditional styles still, and that's okay. It's just, it is changing, and we are on those changing seas. So, what does that mean? It means previously an author wrote a manuscript under a trad publisher alone. They still did under indie. Now, an author can write with AI and do co writing and brainstorming and drafting assistance. So I've got a chart here. You all can look at it. You all know this stuff. We've repeated it a lot, so I won't repeat everything here. But like copy editing they had a whole copy editor the thing had to go to, and it could take weeks or months to get your stuff back. For indies, the author hires the freelance copy editor or uses pro writing aid. Well, now AI can handle that. AI can help do copy editing. You can make a copy editing skill. You can make a copy editing agent. You can have a editing passes specifically for that. It's really not that hard to do. I've done a lot of different kinds of editing, and I'm working on editing with Claude Skills that's going to address these different types of layers of editing that we need and how to do that with Claude Skills. Let's see. They're trying to rebrand prompt engineering as a PP instead of a PE, but I'm not sure I don't know what that means either. No idea. So this is how it's changed. You can see this beautiful little chart that Notion made me. In the end, you are the captain. The biggest mind shift set is that authors are no longer just the writers. We're the captain of the whole ship. Now, we were with indie publishing too, but we're not farming out so much anymore. We are delegating, but we're delegating internally to our technology, to our software, to our AIs, rather than hiring out and having all these extra people to pay. Now, if you're not techie, you can still do that. Those people are still going to be there. But now we have the opportunity to really do it all in-house on our own, on a budget. I like that. I like being able to do that because I do not want to have to schedule when something's going to be ready to send to an editor. I've been self-editing for, good Lord, 10 years. I just can't. It's done when it's done. I'm not scheduling it. I edit my own stuff. You can chart the course, guide the vision, and make the creative decisions. The tools handle the execution. That's how one person can run a publishing studio without burning out. But still, you have to be careful. If you're just working all the time and you're not connecting with your why, you're going to burn out. If it's just about money, you're in the wrong business. The hundreds and thousands of hours you will spend writing, even with AI, you can make more per hour flipping burgers at McDonald's. And I don't want to sound mean, but You have to love this. Whether you use AI or not, this is hard work. It's still hard work, but it's better with these tools because it lets you get some of the draining things out of the way so that you can save your energy for the things you really love, whatever that is. Um, so here's a look at the key categories and the AI tools that are now available. For writing, we have Your First Draft, we have Claude Code, Anti-Gravity, we have ChatGTP, we have Claude, we have Pseudo-Write, Novel Crafter, or some of those other ones that are becoming more legacy now, because we're really in a different era. Some of these tools were made for the non-thinking AIs. The thinking AIs are totally different, and now they're becoming agentic AIs. For editing, we have Claude Skills, Anti-Gravity Claude. We have Notebook LM for research. Perplexity is fabulous. They have that computer thing, but you got to pay a lot of money for that. ChatGPT has got their own deep research. Claude does, and Google also does, in addition to Notebook LM. Design, ChatGPT has been really just nailing the images lately. They are fabulous. I have used it for cover design. I use it all the time for the images that you see in the notes every week. It's been fabulous for a while now. Ideogram, Canva AI, Leonardo is still wonderful, Midjourney. And if you want to do things locally, Comfy UI is amazing. There's a whole group of talented people that are doing things on Comfy UI. A lot of them are at Civet AI, which does some more adult images, but they also do incredible fantasy images. They do incredible styles that you just are hard to find. They do some amazing stuff, and it's all local. So yeah, there's just all kinds of things. Let's see. To make the skill, you need to know the process. That's what the FFA is here for. That's what Ink and Code is here for. We're here to help you through that. And it's really not that hard. It's about talking to the AIs and telling them what you want. Once you learn how to talk to them and get the help that you need, it'll do the rest. In terms of service, yeah, Perplexity's got some questionable terms of service. They're still great for research. On ChatGPT, I just made a wonderful image of San Francisco. Great. So yeah, it's really good. Automation, there's Zapier, or Zapier, Make, Notion AI. You have N8N as well. I find it breaks too much for me. I would rather just do it as a skill in anti-gravity. Publishing, I'm doing anti-gravity formatting, but I haven't got it to actually post anything yet to a publisher. But I do it for the formatting. KDP, Draft to Digital, all the ones we know, Publish Drive, all of those. Analytics, we have AI agents, we have K-lytics, we have Kindle Trends, is great. It can scrape data. You can also make agents to do that. Marketing, we've got all of the major AIs can write ad copy really well now, for blurbs, for email sequences, for anything you want. And like MailChimp, some of these email services are now starting to build in the AI helpers to do it there too. I think Divi, that does web designs for WordPress, has an AI built in. I think you have to subscribe, but they will actually, you can actually have the AI build the websites. I think WordPress has started to build that in. So we are seeing this just built into everything. Oh yeah, yeah, but we're kind of beyond an 8-end at this point. So there's a lot of things, but what does this actually look like? We have a treasure map. What does it actually look like? It's like, concepts are great, but what does it look like? It means we get down into the trenches with our favorite AIs and we look at where the pain points are and we ask them, hey, can you help me with my newsletter? I need a newsletter template. Here's some examples of my newsletter. Make a template out of that I can reuse. So now you have a template. Then you can say, here's a list, or actually say, I need, my newsletter comes out monthly. Maybe I do holiday themes for my newsletter. I want holiday themes. Here's the examples of my newsletter. You've got the template. I want holiday themes. Here's my release schedule. Let's come up with 12 ideas, one for each month. It comes up with the plan. And then you say, great, Now, take the template, write the newsletter. Now, those are cut and paste, but maybe you can make an agent or a skill that does most of that. You could make a Claude project and stick your previous newsletters in there as examples. Make the template, save that to the project, or make a skill. Say, hey, I need you to run the newsletter skill on this topic. Here, you got the template in the projects, and I need you to make my newsletters for maybe even the entire year. And then you can go through it and copy edit with it and say, okay, these aren't great. We need to fix them. I want you to make image prompts for my newsletter. So you can automate a lot of this. You just need to hone in on where your pain points are and then start talking to the AI. The key is always talking to the AI. We talk a lot about that in FFA. We teach that. We teach you how to get what you need. When I was learning foreign languages, which I no longer speak because I've been out of practice forever. When I was learning Spanish, I tried learning French and Portuguese, and I learned Korean. One of the key things that unlocks the rest of the language is learning how to ask for a word you don't know. Like, ¿cómo se dice una palabra que? How do you say this word that? And then you would describe the word as best you could, or you would gesture, right? You can do the same thing with AI. How do you make this thing that I need to do? If you describe it enough, it's going to come up with a plan. The AI wants to help you. You can even just tell it, here's my problem. I have this book. I wrote it 5 years ago. The story, the characters are great. I need help with the plot, maybe. I need to fix the plot. Can you tell me how to do that? Can you help me make an agent or a skill, or just look at it and make suggestions? Just start with your problem, bring it to AI, and then start hashing it out. Claude is great for that. ChatGTP, I find, loves to preach. I don't know what the heck they did with the 5 series, but every time I use it, even for images, it wants to give me this long spiel instead of actually making the image. It does the same thing when I have a problem. I know Elizabeth loves it, and other people do. I cannot, for the life of me, get it to shut up and actually do what I'm telling it to do. Kimmy preaches well. You're not talking about me, right? You're talking about the AI. Oh, thank you, Antonio. I hope I'm not butchering your language. I love Spanish. I learned it. Then I went over to Korea and learned that. And I came back and didn't use either one. And I opened my mouth to say one, and I get the other. Or I get them mixed up. It's a bad combination. Yeah, the AI. Okay. Thank you. Yes, you can have this for the desktop background. Just click on the notes. I will put them in the description too. Click on the notes. They're in the chat window. Here, I'll put them up again. Let's see here. I'll put them in here. It's not a perfect map. I had to edit this a lot because words and AI still have trouble. So we have all of these different areas that we can use AI in. If any of these are giving you trouble, go talk to the AI. Literally, just a chat window. That's all you need. You go, well, what about skills? Well, skills start in a chat window. They start with Claude. Go talk to Claude about a skill. GPT start with chatty. You can make one in there. What about an agent? Well, you can talk in anti-gravity. It has a chat window. It really starts with chatting. If you are used to chatting with any of these agents, you can do the rest. The agents themselves are built into chat windows. We're going to look at that today in the lab. We're going to look at the Chrome extension that has Claude Code. We're going to look at Gemini. This is if we have time after we're playing with Cassie's stuff. The Chrome one, the Notion agents that just came out and are built into Notion, and the ones that are the Claude Code ones, or the Claude extension. It's now all of the Claude is in the extension for Chrome. So there's a lot of different tools. They all start with a chat window. They're actually not that hard. They may be intimidating, but the best way is to practice. No one is going to die if you prompt wrong. No one is going to die if you suddenly have not what you wanted. Yes, you'll waste a few tokens doing that. But if you have a subscription or even on a free plan, you can just wait. If you run out of usage, you can just wait for the next refresh. It's not going to hurt anything. So go and try these things and play with them. Yeah, ChatGPT to do images is good. I love Chatty, but after 23 different ways for me to say continue or get on with it. Yes, that's what I'm finding too. It's like just make the thing. But like I said, it's still really, really good for images. So I endure it. No one dies in AI. Well, hopefully not. I'm hoping the whole Pentagon thing goes away. But yes, so far, no one dies from writing AI. That's for sure. Only our characters. So yeah, I love this image here. So here are just a few of the different examples I put in here. I won't go through all of them because I feel like I just repeat a lot of it. But there are so many different ways that you can start addressing the issues you need help with. And we have got a lot of courses on this too. So let me get down to that. The key takeaway is that no single step requires the author to be an expert in anything. You don't have to be an expert. That's the difference between the indie phase that we've been going through where we had to hire out experts and this new phase with AI assistance. You don't have to be an expert. Having a good eye for the design stuff helps, but you can always have a friend that has a good eye, and Chatty has a pretty good eye. You don't have to be an expert in marketing or technology. Tara, God bless Tara. I think her last name's Basden. Tara did a wonderful job taking my anti-gravity workflow. She's not a tech person, and she adapted it for her romance stuff and was able to come up with a great workflow that worked for her. She had Perplexity help her. She had some of the other AIs help her. She doesn't know a lot about coding or how to use this stuff. She asked the AI. That's all you got to do. So you just need to know enough to direct the tool, like a creative director delegating to a team. The AI is now your team. Um, let's see. Yes, I have a thread that I've been using to create homeschool stories for Jamie, for homeschooling, and it's in 5.1, and it's not that old. It's maybe a month, 2 months old, and we create all of our little dinosaur pictures and dinosaur stuff that he does. He does copy work, and he comes up with the ideas. He loves the images. He's in the autism spectrum, so this helps him with socialization and stuff like that. So we use ChatGPT every day for homeschool. And I post a dino of the day in our Discord, FFA Discord. Jamie loves that. He loves it. People can see his dinosaurs. I got a message this week saying that 5.1 is being retired on March 11th. I'm like, wait a minute, that just came out. It moved me over from 4.0. I've been using 4.0 for like 2 years, or maybe a year and a half. It seems like 2 years, however long it's been out. They retired that, and now they're retiring 5.1. It's crazy. Be an expert in knowing how to learn and apply and how to ask for help, human or AI. Oh, it even rhymes, June. You're a poet and you didn't even know it. So I'm going to borrow from Becca Syme here. Question the premise. I love her. I love Becca. If you haven't gone and taken Becca's courses on Write Better Faster and Clifton Strengths, they are so good. And it's such a great way to understand your own writing processes. Indies have to do the premise is that indies have to do things the way they've always done. But question that. Do you actually need a separate keyword research subscription, or can an agent do it now? Do you really need to run 3 editing passes across different tools, or can Claude Skills do that for you? Do you really need to hire a formatter, or can Vellum do it? Or do you really need Vellum? Can anti-gravity do it? Can the AIs do that? I didn't know until last month that they could. And I questioned the premise because I was forced to. Oh no, I'm rhyming like an AI. Yes, it happens to all of us. Do you actually need Midjourney and Canva and a designer, or can ChatGPT's image gen get you there? Right now, I have a Google Ultra subscription. I don't know for how long because it's expensive. They threw in YouTube Premium, which was great. I don't care about the commercials, but that was nice. They threw in YouTube Music. I am a Spotify person, and my Spotify just ran out. And I was like, oh, am I going to go get another gift card? What am I going to do? And I'm like, well, why don't I try the YouTube Music? It's free while I'm doing the Ultra at the half price. You know what? The sound is even better than Spotify. The one problem is you can't put the subfolders. I have book playlists inside of subfolders for each series. There are no subfolders. So everything it's a mess. I have like 70 playlists. But other than that, it sounds fabulous. And I'm like, well, that saved me some money on an annual subscription, at least until I go back to Google Pro, because I am not paying full price for Ultra. But for 3 months, I'm happy with what I got. One of the things I really value about the FFA, seeing the different ways other writers tackle their workflow makes me rethink my own. That is so true. And I think that having a group of people who are doing the same thing in a safe space where nobody is hating on you because you're trying to learn new technology and implement it in your business. I think having that and having a place, that's why, I mean, we used to call it the advanced part, the mastermind. Having that kind of hive mind where we can all share ideas and be creative and it's a safe space is really valuable. I think it's a huge value. And the Ink and Code Society is kind of an extension of that. We are exploring the frontier. We're at the forefront. We are trying all the cutting edge stuff. Yes, we are chasing shinies. Sometimes that affects our publishing schedule, but we are questioning and we are trying to do new things and work smarter and not harder. If you like to write if you like to write without AI, no one is forcing you to write with AI. But every other part of your business can be automated or it can be updated with newer tools that are faster and cheaper. So there are some huge benefits. Yes, you have to be careful. We're not telling anyone what to do in their business, but we are showing options. Question the premise. Do I have to do it that way? Yes, but you never know which shiny is the one shiny to rule them all. For me, it's anti-gravity. That is my one shiny to rule them all right now. But there are so many great ones. So this week, question the premise. What's one step in your publishing workflow that you have never questioned, that you've been doing the same since you started? What would it look like to automate, replace, or eliminate that entirely and plot a new course instead? Just one thing, one area. It's something that you've never ever questioned. It's just been bedrock. If you know, put it in the chat. If not, we'll talk about it some more in Ink and Code because that is a really good area to explore. For me, it was formatting. I never thought I could do that. So I'm like, okay, that's opened up a whole new world. Translations is another one, though that is tricky. I'm trying with that, but that's really involved. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take me a while to figure that one out. FFA also saves my sanity when the LLMs are misbehaving, so I know it's not me. Like Danny's saying, Claude must be off its meds, and others agreeing. Yes, because we know we're in the trenches with you. So tools you can use. That's the other part of this. We got a bundle. I asked Stacy and everybody, I said, hey, can we bundle our intro classes that I've done? This is Introduction to Anti-Gravity, Claude Code, Claude Skills, and Obsidian. It's a starter bundle to get you started in this new age. I built these for people who don't know what they're doing, that are brand new to technology. They are more basic than my Ink and Code labs that I did. These were developed after that. I tried to make it easy, but I also tried to stretch you all with some advanced things here and there. So these are in this AI starter bundle. It is a treasure trove of 4 courses that all work together. All of these work together, and you can mix and match the projects. I designed them that way to get you started with the most advanced AI tools available to authors. In this bundle, you'll learn Claude Code, Google Anti-Gravity, Claude Skills, and Obsidian with step-by-step instructions to get set up in each and a project you'll work through and complete, actually multiple projects that you'll work through. The newsletter stuff is, I think, in Claude Code. I've got that. I've got reader magnets I do in these, and I'm using things that I'm publishing. I'm actually developing books in these classes. Trying to remember what I did in Anti-Gravity. I think I did Pirate Girl is in Anti-Gravity. Obsidian has got a lot of stuff in it too. All of these work together. Obsidian can work on local folders. So can Anti-Gravity. So can Claude Code. So can Claude Skills through Claude Desktop. So once you have something, you can use all of these tools. These courses, yes, are they part of the membership? Yes, they are. If you're in the membership, you don't have to buy them. You already have them, so go get them. I love anti-gravity. Yes, Gorgons. I published my Gorgons. That was in the classes on the Inca Code labs that we did inside the membership on writing with Claude Code. And so the Gorgons are coming. The first one's out, and the second and third ones are coming. They're in pre-order. Let's see. Kim's anti-gravity course made an intimidating-looking program a lot easier to approach. Do recommend. Thank you. It is designed for people who need some help getting started. Not everybody is an advanced user of tech. I've been using it all my life, and I worked in IT for years. And I also worked in help desk and support. I also worked in network admin. But I'm used to dealing with help desk and people that may have trouble with stuff, and I try to explain things in layman's terms. And we're always here to help you with it. So there's a lot in these courses. Separately, they're $199 each. I'll put links to each one. I forgot to do that in case anyone wants to look at them. The first parts of those courses are entirely free. You can have a free preview of how to set up these. You can see how I teach, and you can get started. It's the project part that is included in the paid. So you can go look at them now. The bundle is here. The bundle is $4.99. It includes, I guess I didn't say, grab the bundle here for $4.99. It includes, you save over $300. If you were buying them separately, they would be almost $800. So you're saving $300. But you can get them all by joining the FFA for $249 a month. So if you want to see those and all the labs I did, and all the after parties and the after labs like we're about to have, go join the FFA. Go join our membership. We're going to be heading over into the lab in a few minutes, and we will be recording that. So if you want to sign up and you saw this after this broadcast, don't worry. We recorded it, and it's there waiting for you. So come join us and come play in the FFA, because we go through all of this, especially in the Ink and Code side. We have special Discord channels too, talking about writing with AI and IDEs, AI-assisted editing workflows, automation pipelines, custom AI agents for authors, publishing systems at scale. We're talking about it all. And we're putting the pieces together. We do not have everything figured out. We are exploring this together. And in our lab today, we're going to be exploring some things. So grab a membership and come play with us. In the lab, okay, not a pirate vibe, but I love this graphic that Chatty gave me. We are unlocking the power of agents. We are going to look at Cassie Alexander's keyword research tool. We're going to play with that. I don't know how far we'll get. There's something about Supabase. We will bumble our way through it. Notion agents, the agents that just came out in Notion that are finally rolled out to everybody. We'll look at the Claude Code Chrome extension. I know Mimi has been doing a lot of neat things with that. And Gemini's Chrome agents. Gemini has put agents into everything too. I don't know if they're as robust, but I've interviewed these agents. I put them in the notes for the lab, and we'll play with them. And we'll just share. We'll talk about whatever you all want to talk about. So that's what I've got. And my credits. I got it to put me in there. So images were by me and ChatGPT 5.3, and the songs were done by me with Suno. So yes, more shinies and stuffy stuff in the after lab. Yeah, I have set it up before, because if you don't have a subscription, it like wants to be renewed every week. It shuts down. I remember having to set it up for Rexy stuff ages ago. Not so secret agents, yes. Google just released Workspace CLI. We can look at whatever you want. Need an intro to MailerLite. We can look at all kinds of stuff. Oh yes, Nanny, that's my lit RPG. That was another one I taught. So there's all kinds of fun things. So come join us in the FFA. I hope you all enjoy. Let me add myself back in, remove that. Let's see here. There we go. I hope you all enjoyed this. It's amazing that I could talk for an hour and 10 minutes by myself. Apparently I can. So I hope to see you all in the After Lab. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and a great week. I hope the writing is coming well. And I'm gonna leave you all with some robot reggae.
Hey now, talk to my agent. Hey now, talk to my agent. Used to write my books alone at night, coffee cup and a blinking light. Now I got a team inside my screen, smartest spots you've ever seen. One does research, one does plot, one remembers what I forgot. I just hum along and hit okay while my agent save the day. Talk to my agent, talk to my agent. Have your agent talk to mine. Talk to your agent, talk to your agent. If you need a meeting, get in line, get in line. Talk to my agent, talk to my agent. Let the workflows intertwine. Save us time, save us time. Have your agent talk to my agent. Everything will work out fine. Oh, hey, 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 hey. Woo, woo. Got a bot for blurbs and taglines too. Another one for what to do. One that plans my whole next year. One that tells me don't you fear. They chat with tools, they talk in code. Carry my creative load. I just sit back, sip my tea while the robots work for me. Talk to my agent, talk to my agent. Have your agent talk to mine. Talk to your agent, talk to your agent. Talk to my agent. Get in line, get in line. Talk to my agent, talk to my agent. They'll schedule it just fine. Save us time, save us time. Have your agent talk to my agent. Everything will work out fine. My agent emailed your agent pinged mine back. Now they're arguing in spreadsheets and forming a Slack. Claudebot says, back to mine. Gemini says, relax. Grok just started tweeting, now the timeline's under attack. Hey now, Claudebot chaos. Hey now, Claudebot chaos. I asked for a book description, they built a tech stack. Talk to my agent, talk to my agent. Let the agents run the show. Talk to my agent, talk to my agent. That's the way the future flows. Need a human answer. Oh, no, 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 no. Have your agent talk to my agent. Oh, and we'll all just take it slow. And we'll all just take it slow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey now, talk to my agent. Hey now, talk to my agent.